Today I speak to my fellow pastors, those called to share in the greatest message in human history, the good news of Jesus Christ. For the past decade in this country, we have been cast into a drama we did not write. We have been presented three paths. The first is to openly oppose the name-calling, dehumanizing, and divisive rhetoric, behavior that none of us would accept from a 10-year-old child, let alone the leader of the free world. The second path is to somehow justify this behavior as a means to an end or a necessary evil. Choosing this path also means you have abdicated your voice to a culture that desperately needs Jesus. But the third path is the most dangerous: to sit in silence while complacently watching our flocks be torn into two camps. Maybe unsure what to do, trying to keep a peace or out of fear of losing people, clout, or finances. Understand that avoiding one of the first two paths is to choose the third. At Charlie Kirk's memorial, these three paths collided on an international stage. For a grieving widow to offer unmerited grace to the murderer of her husband, the father of her children, is the personification of the gospel. To hate your enemies and wish harm to those who oppose you is the blatant opposite of everything Jesus teaches. Friends, these three paths have never been more clear. To those walking that first path, I say, keep fighting the good fight and keep the faith. The road is about to become so much more difficult. To the second, decide if this is your clarifying moment of repentance. And if you still choose to somehow justify this behavior, understand that your decision is your resignation. Maybe not from your church, but from the call of the ministry of the gospel. But to those on that third path, understand the die is now cast. Can I remind you the warning of James? Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. I pray all pastors in this nation will join me in saying to Erika and the rest of our fellow Americans, I'm sorry.